Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cowboy Slot Channel, Sunday Slot Talk with the Tech. We're your hosts, Brantley and Marc, and today we are going to talk about online casinos, online slot machines, and of course those illegal game rooms that happen to be out there primarily in Texas. So we've got a lot to cover about that topic today. Of course, we will be taking your questions. This is an open forum, so you guys are free to ask questions. And we will be taking member and Patreon questions first that they have submitted prior to starting this live stream. So before we go into the live stream, let's talk about some channel updates and some really fun upcoming events. First things first, Marc and myself, as well as Stacy and Greg from Stacy's High Limit Slots, are going to be in Las Vegas this month, August 27th through the 30th. And I'm going to pull that up on the screen for you here. We do have that posted on the website. And guys, anytime you can go to the website, ropethejackpot.com. You can click on events right up here. And we have this posted for this upcoming trip. So it's going to be August 27th through the 30th. We're going to be primarily at Aria, Cosmo, and Bellagio. Which I have not posted this on the page yet, but we do have a set time that we'll be meeting at Aria. So if you guys are going to be around on the 27th at 8 p.m., we're going to be in the Aria High Limit slot room. So if you happen to be there on Saturday around 8 p.m. and want to stop by and see us. There's going to be a lot of fun and excitement going on there. Who's going to be there? It's going to be myself, Marc, Stacy, and Greg. So all the awesome people are going to be there. Come by and say hi. And then, as always, you can always check up on events at ropethejackpot.com. October 10th through the 13th is going to be the Global Gaming Expo, which we've got Gamble the Globe here in the comments, who has been working to get a nice collaboration and a good meet and greet spot. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we're going to post those details as they do come about. So that is for the events coming up here soon. So just letting you guys know, we would love to see you. We would love to meet you. Come on out and say hi. Really quick, also, poker chips are still available, guys. We are selling these poker chips on the website. All the proceeds do go to benefit the channel. It is really helpful. I have reordered some of the red chips because we're getting pretty low on stock on those. The limited chips, I only have about 25 remaining. And with those, you can get an optional clear plastic case, which is pretty cool. And then these blue chips as well. And then in the month of October, we will be coming out with the pink poker chips, and the proceeds from those pink poker chips will be going to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer. Also, guys, don't forget our giveaway is live right now, and it ends August 28th. We're actually going to be we're going to be pulling the winner live in Las Vegas. So that's going to be a stream, that Sunday stream. We're going to be pulling the winner. How you enter, it's really easy, guys. You can go to the website, ropethejackpot.com, tap on giveaway, and then right down here, it just takes you to the link to the video that we're sharing, which is going to be an episode in our learning series that we did. That was the most popular episode. Share that video, and then all you have to do is comment not hashtag, but you can just comment shared on the video, comment on that video, and you'll be entered. So all you have to do is share that video, comment on that video, and you are entered to go. The prize package is going to include a $200 Amazon gift card, a piece of antique slot machine glass, as well as 2 of the limited edition poker chips as well. So really cool gift pack. Don't forget for that giveaway. And it is 100% free. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is share that video and comment shared. So really, really easy, really fun. So that giveaway is going on right now. So don't forget about that. Let me get some banners up here on the screen. So there's information at the bottom of the screen there for you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and go into our opening topic today, which is going to be online slot machines and illegal gambling rooms and all of that fun stuff. So guys, online slots have been something that's really, really gained in popularity recently. And I know that there's a lot of people out there playing these online slot machines, but you have to be really careful because they're not legal in all areas. And my biggest advice, I did an episode all about online slots, online casinos, and online gambling. The biggest advice that I can give you is if that's something that you want to play, stick with a name brand casino like MGM or Caesars or FanDuel, someplace that has legitimate online games that's actually backed by a corporation. And we have some really awesome member questions that have come in that we'll take just before our general Q&A after we kind of go through this. So with those online slots, guys, just you want to be very careful with them because a lot of them, there's a ton of them. There's thousands of online casinos, but they're not all legitimate. There's only a couple that are actually a legitimate online casino. And we'll get into that a little more through the Q&As. But that's my biggest advice for online slots and online casinos. Mark is going to talk a little bit about those illegal game rooms in Texas, because I know that topic comes up a lot. And Mark is from Texas. So, Mark, if you want to go ahead and let's talk about some of those illegal game rooms in Texas.
Yeah. And actually, just to add to, before we jump into that, to add to online gambling, I think probably the easiest way to tell if it's a legitimate online gambling site is that if they accept Bitcoin or credit card, it's not a legitimate site, or at least it's not a site that's backed by a big corporation. You probably have heard of Chumbo before. You've probably heard of Bovada. That's another one. They are, it's you can't really say they're legal or illegal. They use a lot of kind of back end rules and shortcuts to get around the legalities of them. And I think in general, if that's the case, I would not feel safe gambling my money there. I think it's just too risky. You don't know what the organization is that's actually doing audits and things like that. It's just not very legitimate when it comes to that. And I think when it comes to gambling your own money, especially, you want to know that you have somebody that's overseeing the operation, and not like it was back in the past in Las Vegas where the mob was overseeing everything. It's a lot different nowadays. So, my advice is, personally, I would never gamble online. I had a bad story back in the early 2000s when it was actually fully legal to gamble online here in the States. And I played online blackjack, and I got it up to say 4,000 or 5,000, and then I lost it all within minutes. And it's just like, there was no excitement whatsoever. It just felt like a chore to try to do it. And I think that part of the fun of going to a casino is just the atmosphere and all the different games and the comps that you get and meeting friends and getting free drinks and all that kind of stuff. And I think if you're just sitting on the toilet and playing blackjack for real money, it just, I don't know, to me, it feels off, and it feels a little bit more dangerous than actually going to a casino. So anyway, if you do decide to do it, my recommendation is always just to be very cautious. If they do accept credit cards or Bitcoin, probably not a good idea in general. Brantley, I know you had experience with Chumbo. Why don't you talk about that real quick, and then we'll jump into the game rooms, because I think Chumbo's. I get asked this a lot too. What about Chumbo? What about Chumbo? Why? I hear people are winning all the time on Chumbo, and I saw a TV ad on it. And what's it about? Why is it legal and nothing else is?
So this was actually a question that came in from Carol. Carol on Patreon actually asked this question. She said, I'm interested in Chumba specifically. So many people are playing Chumba, but I've heard about it taking forever to get paid. I'm also concerned about giving them my banking info. What are your thoughts on Chumba? So the most important thing to realize about Chumba is, so Chumba can kind of circumvent around the laws because they don't actually consider themselves a casino. They consider themselves a sweepstakes. So you're actually purchasing sweepstakes coins, and then you can redeem those for money. So it's kind of a gray area. Personally, I was very, very, very skeptical on Chumba. And I actually tried Chumba for myself. So I signed up for Chumba and everything, and I actually won a little bit of money, but they weren't able to verify me, to verify my account. And of course, I did not get paid for that. So their business practices are a little shady. I know that there are a couple of people out there that said that they've won money on Chumba, which is good. But it's not something that I would put a whole lot of money into. so to speak, I wouldn't trust it.
Right.
I tried it. I did not like it at all. I thought the games were terrible. I thought, and for some reason, why they would not verify my account, because I kept having to send them like my ID and everything, and they were like, "Oh, we can't verify this." Well, of course you can't verify it for whatever reason. Um, so that's just something that I was very, very skeptical about. But just know, like, in terms of legally, they can circumvent around it because they're not considered they don't consider themselves a casino. They consider themselves a sweepstakes. So that's kind of something else that you guys should really keep in mind is if somebody is having to ride the line of the gray area and they're having to deviate around red tape, it's probably not the best for you. I really would not recommend it. But no, my personal experience on Chumba, I never got paid from it at all. So it's not something I would recommend. I mean, unless you're just going to go to, go to one of these websites to play for fun and not for real money. But as for Chumba, my thoughts on it is steer clear from it. It's not
Hmm.
something that I would recommend at all. And to be perfectly honest, I don't recommend online casinos at all anyway. I don't think they're fun. I like the atmosphere of the casino itself. I like having the machine there and being able to physically put the money in and get that cash back. Um, and online casinos, that's just not there.
Yeah,
Um,
underwear gaming is just not a good idea.
yeah, no,
That's what I call it when you're at home, sitting on the toilet playing. It's just,
yeah, it's not. And
it just
online
seems like a
casinos,
fast way to the bottom of the barrel when it comes to gambling addiction to me. It just seems like that's one of the worst things you could get into.
yeah.
So
Um,
that's just my personal opinion, but
and honestly, because the thought comes up, and I know this is the title of the show is are online casinos safe? And I would not trust them. I would not. The only casinos that I would trust would be MGM or Caesars or FanDuel, because those are actual US companies backed by regulations and laws. They follow the laws. So there are legitimate online casinos out there like MGM and Caesars. But aside from that, like, Chumba, I would not. I would not play Chumba. That is just my
yeah.
personal opinion. I know there's are a lot of people out there that say that they have made money on Chumba, which I think is great. But my personal opinion and my personal thoughts on it is it's just not something that's worth it. I don't find it entertaining. Um, and the fact that they are based overseas, I don't really know how much I would trust my information with them, if that makes sense. Um, but no, they're not. They don't get into any legal trouble because they're not considered a casino. It's considered a sweepstakes. So they're kind
Right.
of, they fall under a different category. Because I know a lot of people have asked, well, how is Chumba illegal? And it's like, well, technically, Chumba's not illegal because it's not a real casino. It's not.
Hmm.
They don't advertise themselves as being an actual casino. They're a sweepstakes, and that's how they're set up. So um, I know a lot of people out there, they talk about Chumba and everything, and it's just, is it illegal? Technically, no, because of the way it's set up. It's technically not. You can play it in any state. Um, is it something that I would recommend? No, no, it's not. I wouldn't do it. Another member question came in. Micah, a YouTube member, asks the question, if a person wins online, how long does it take for them to get their money? Um, Honestly, so I have played at a couple of online casinos. Chumba, I never got the money from at all because they couldn't verify me, and for whatever reason. But I have played at Caesars and I have played at MGM, and I did get the money from those casinos. And it takes about 3 to 5 business days. At least that's what it took for me, was about 3 to 5 business days. And honestly, I don't find that fun
Right.
at all. I don't really find that
Yeah,
fun.
they're quick to take your money, but not quick to pay it back. That's kind of
Exactly.
strange, right? How
I
is
mean,
it that?
we live in an age right now where, like, if I can send money to somebody and they get it right away instantly, or, you
Right.
can, if if you do something like if you're a Lyft driver or an Uber driver, you can do like a quick cash out, or if it goes into your PayPal account, you can quick cash it out and you can have it right then and there. So I don't know why some of these major casinos choose to wait 3 to 5 days. I think the only reason is it gives you time to stew. I think that's a purposeful intent that they make you wait that long to get your money back. And honestly, guys, online casinos are a no-go for me. They're a no-go when it comes to regulations. There's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You're putting your bank account information on the internet. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I don't think online casinos are worth it at all. And in terms of safety, I think that you really are only safe if you go to MGM, Caesars, or FanDuel. One of the major brands. And there are some other major brands out there that are legit. Those are just the only 3 examples that I can think of. But when it comes to, all of these other random little sites, or, the overseas based sites, or, in a case like Chumbo, where it's like, oh, we're not a casino, we're a sweepstakes, it's a no-go for me.
Yeah. And that's a good transition into the game room topic. So what is a game room? Let me talk about that. So this has popped up in Texas within the last couple of years, and it's just exploding here. And it's also, Florida is starting to get it also. They are basically casinos, back-end rooms, buildings off the side of the highways that say sweepstakes on the outside. In fact, there was one when I was driving out to Wyoming, there was one that was called Sweepstakes Donation Center.
I think I've seen that before.
That just cracks me up. Like, it's an illegal casino. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a sweepstakes donation center.
Where was that at? Do you remember where that was at?
It was, I texted you on my way out when I saw it. It was probably about 30 miles from me to the northwest. And it was just a building on the side of the highway. No windows. It's just, guys, slot machine gambling is not legal in Texas anywhere, except for the few on the Indian reservations that exist. That's like Eagle Pass. There's one in El Paso, but they are legitimate casinos. They look like casinos. They don't look like gas stations and buildings on the side of the road with no windows. They don't look like that. They are legitimate casinos. I think there's 3 or 4 in Texas, but
actually, we can check, because I believe I have Texas
That's
pulled up on the website here. So, guys, this is another really cool thing. On the website, ropethejackpot.com, I do have this new casino guide. If you click on it, now these are all only native-owned Indian casinos right now. I'm going to be posting private, the other casinos, the corporate casinos later on. So this is actually all the tribal casinos. So let's click on Texas here. So Texas only has 3. There's okay. I can't even, Mark, what is this one? I can't even pronounce it. Neskilla.
I can't either.
Neskilla, but they're class 2. Kickapoo is class 2.
It's a Lucky Eagle,
yeah. Speaking Rock Casino and Entertainment Center is class 2, and they have some class 3 machines. That is just what they're registered at.
Right.
Now, granted, these are just what the Indian tribes have registered. Whether they're
there's no state-run Texas casinos. Those are the only casinos that exist in Texas. So, if you see anything else, and the thing is when you walk into these game rooms, you see legitimate slot machines like the ones I have behind me. There are actual slot machines, because they've tried to buy them from me before, and I've turned them away because I don't want to get involved in any of that. But they put legitimate machines. Fire Links are real popular. Lightning Links are real popular. Basically, all the popular games that you find in legitimate casinos are in these game rooms, and people play them. So why is it bad? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but the first is that they're not regulated. And like with anything in this world that is not regulated, what happens? People start to bend the rules. They start to get away with things. Illicit behavior starts occurring. Can't do anything about it because you can't go to the cops, things like that. So you can go in and spend your money on these machines. And by the way, they are set at the lowest payback that is possible on any possible game, because the person that requested them from me said, put them on 80% or lower, all of them. And I'm like, wait a minute, why are you doing that? I thought this was for home use, and no, I found out later on it was for a game room, and so I decided no, I'm not going to do that. But they set them very low. They don't always have the cash to be able to pay you. I've heard stories of all I've got is $500. Come back in a couple of days and I'll pay you the rest. Stuff like that. Or we can't pay you until Friday, so come back Friday and we'll give you a check, or maybe it bounces or something. I mean, guys, does any of this sound weird to you? Like, does this sound like the place that you want to spend money and gamble with? It's very dangerous, because if something goes wrong, or they don't pay you your money, or the machine malfunctions, there you have no protections. There's no gaming commission that you can go to and say, hey, there's something funny going on here. You can go to the cops, you can go to the sheriff. There's only so much they can do, because these things are everywhere, and there isn't a big push to clean them up right now. The penalties for these game rooms is not severe at all. It's mostly a slap on the wrist. And believe me, if they're just getting fined for doing this stuff, they're making way more off people just going in there and gambling. And so it's not a good idea. I have heard stories. People say they go into game rooms all the time and they go out and they win money and all that. Yes, it can happen, but it's just a dangerous proposition, and it's something that you shouldn't do. You should always go to a licensed facility. You need that protection, especially when it comes to spending your money on things like this. You would want that protection. I mean, why? I mean, imagine if vehicles weren't required to have seat belts and brakes and all that kind of stuff. There's regulations for all that stuff, so that manufacturers can't build those things to be death trap. Well, they are kind of death traps, but less of a death trap than they are, with those safety, provisions in place. And so you want the same for gambling. You want to know that when you're going in and you're spending your money, that if something goes wrong, you have somebody to enforce the law and the protections you need. And game rooms are just very shady. There's at least 4 of them here in my town, including the one that's out there on the highway. There's another one that says it's a computer repair shop, but they have 3 7s with cherries on the window. What do you think that is? You go in there for a computer repair shop, but in the back there's slot machines. This stuff is just it's too dangerous. You can't do anything if something happens. And so I'm not trying to be doomsday. I'm not trying to say that, stay away from game rooms are, bad news, but you should have all the facts before you go in there and start gambling, and realize that you have no protections for anything that goes wrong. If they decide not to pay you, you're just not going to get paid, and that's it. There's nothing you can't go to the cops and say, hey, they owe me $500. They're like, well, they're not supposed to be there anyway. I mean, that's what you're going to hear, and that's not good, So just be careful if you are in a state. And I think that's why it's really important to go to ropethejackpot.com, where he pointed out, if you're unclear in the state that you live in, whether it's a legitimate casino operation, or if it's a gas station, or if it's a legal game room, that's a good way to look up and tell if the facility is licensed and regulated. And I understand that, he only shows the tribal ones at this point, but that's a good place to start. The others are public, so you can look those up easily. Just do a Google search for them. You can't do a Google search for illegal game rooms, or if you do, it's weird language, like the Sweepstakes Donation Center. So just keep that in mind. So
exactly. So yeah, guys, please do utilize that resource. You can go to ropethejackpot.com. You can tap on Casino Guide, and this will show you the right now. Again, it is only the tribal casinos. But we are going to bring later on down the line, we're going to bring those other corporate owned casinos. But you can always check your state and see exactly what class of game it is. So like in Oklahoma, for example, because there's a lot of them, Oklahoma tribal casinos, actually all of them have a dual license. So they are registered for both class 2 and class 3. Majority of Oklahoma casinos do operate under the class 2 bingo system, the server-based bingo system. So that would be like WinStar and so on and so forth. But there are some class 3s out there, but it's hard to tell because Oklahoma has so many casinos. So you can always just ask. And this is information you can always ask the casino. The class of casino is not private, guys. You can ask them, hey, what class is this? Is this a class 2 or is this a class 3? And they'll answer it for you. Also on the website too, in case you guys did forget, all about the classes. This is exactly what each of the classes are. Which class is better, what if your casino has class 2 and 3. So all of this information is available at the website, ropethejackpot.com, and you can just tap on casino guide. So just be sure to utilize that. That's a great resource, guys. It really is. Just overall, it's always better when you're spending your money to go to a legitimate facility. That's always going to be better. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. It's especially online casinos. Just no, absolutely.
And again, we're not trying to be depressing. It's just that, this is the topic we decided to pick for today, and it's shocking to me because I do get emails and comments on my videos where people are like, I can actually drive. There's a place outside of Dallas that I go and gamble. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, that's not a legitimate casino, and they don't realize it because it looks legitimate. Some of these are in warehouses that look just like a casino, but they're not. And so you have to be aware of the rules and, where the casinos actually exist and if they are regulated or not. That's just really important information for you to have before you start gambling. I mean, we just cannot say it enough. Again, it's not a doomsday announcement. It's just guys, it's your money, and gambling is already tough as it is. It's already tough to turn a profit with gambling. Why would you want to make your odds even worse? I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah.
I just don't say it's just something to be careful with, guys. That's all I'm saying. So
that's it. So let's move into some questions and answers, guys. We do have a few that are kind of backed up, and as always, we do apologize in advance if we do happen to skip your questions, but we do get a lot of them in here. We try to go through and we try to get to every single question. So I'm going through right now. Mark, if you see any questions that you want to answer, let me know, and we'll see here. So let's see. Let's see. Here's a question from John. What is a good medium volatile slot to play? So with slot machines, obviously you want to try to look for the lowest volatile machine that you possibly can. And there's easy ways to identify low volatile slot machines. And you do kind of get better with it over time because there's a lot of information to take in when you're looking at those slot machines. I do have a whole lesson series. It's actually on the main page of the Cowboy Slots YouTube page. You can actually go on there, and if you watch all the episodes from episodes 1 through episode 7, you can really kind of get a better idea. And also, one of those episodes is in our giveaway, so be sure to follow that. A good medium volatile slot, honestly, I would say I played Wild Cherries recently. Wild Cherries is probably a good medium volatile slot. You can make some good money on it. But it is a little higher in volatility just because of those wilds if they land anywhere on the screen. Another good medium volatile slot is the 2, 3, or the 3, 4, 5 times pay machines. Those are relatively good to play and on the medium scale of volatility. Mark, do you have any you want to add?
No, those are pretty good. I think if you're talking about video slots, any of them that don't have rare bonuses, like the bonuses are really hard to get. And that's why we've always said, if you're interested in playing a game, go on YouTube and look up the game and watch people play it, and you will learn a lot from doing that. How frequent the bonus is, how well the bonus pays. That's a great way to figure out volatility of machine. Is do your research ahead of time, or if you don't watch YouTube, just watch somebody play for a little while. I mean, don't be a creeper, but I mean, watch somebody play for a little while and see how frequent the bonus comes. I think if you're looking for a middle of the road ones, things like the Lord of the Rings, I know you can't find these anymore, but Lord of the Rings, Willy Wonka, Wizard of Oz, those are kind of in the middle. But things like Mega Vault, that's a horribly volatile machine, very hard to get the bonus. I'm trying to think of some others that are pretty bad. But I think it's reasonable to play low to medium because you do want to do a little bit of a risk. I would never play high volatile machines personally. I think it's just a bad idea. Or if you do, limit yourself to just a couple of spins. But low to medium is where it's at. And so yeah, just do your research. Look up online and watch people play it. Then make your decision if it feels like the right volatility for you.
And speaking of lower volatile machines, we have a question here from Raider for Life 44. How volatile are the double diamond machines, and is it better to play $1 machine or the $5 machine? So this is something that we kind of touched on before, but the double diamond machine is actually considered the lowest volatile machine that you can possibly play. I highly recommend, if you find a double diamond machine, especially in higher limits, that machine is notorious for hitting the double double double, and there's a lot of variations of it. But even if you go to, I'll bring this back up again. If you go to our website, ropethejackpot.com, you can actually click here on testimonials. These are all testimonials that you guys have sent in to me. So I do showcase your wins. So if you ever do want to submit any testimonial to be featured on the website, you can. This is also kind of a good way to look for those low volatile machines. And if you look on here, there's a lot of the double diamond, triple diamond variations. So you have one right here. This pinball right here hit all of the doubles. There's more down here. This one hit all of the doubles. This one, 2 triples and a 7. So there's a lot of those on here, guys, that they've hit. Here's another one, double, double, double. Those doubles hit all the time. So that's kind of a good thing to look at as well. But the double diamond machines are extremely low in volatility. They're one of the best machines that you can possibly play because they do have a much higher chance of hitting the double, double, double. So I would recommend playing the highest denomination that you can at the max bet that you can for those machines. Let's see here. We got a question. One Grisman, off topic, but how fast does the RNG run through numbers? For example, is there 1,000 numbers a second, or one number every millisecond, or like 10,000 numbers generated a second? Mark, do you want to answer that one?
Nobody knows. It's just fast. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know exactly, but it could depend on the processor speed. But I mean, nobody really knows how fast they cycle through. But it's very, very fast.
Exactly. Let's see. Tex Rankin 5, can you buy a slot machine that still drops real quarters? Yes, you can, but they are difficult to find. They're getting a lot harder to find, and also there's a lot more moving parts in those machines as well, because you've got the hoppers, the comparator, and everything else, and those parts are very difficult to come by. If you find one, if you have one, take good care of it, because you're probably not going to be able to find those replacement parts.
Yeah, just to give you an example, the coin comparators are becoming so hard to find that they're over $100 now. They used to be $20, $30 to buy, and just in the last 5 years alone, they've jumped to over 100. So, yeah, it's if you find one, a machine that's complete with it, that's fantastic. Because even if you can't get the machine working, you could sell all the parts because those parts are becoming so hard. But I'm actually going to be doing a conversion on one of these S2000s back to coins. I'll do a video probably next month sometime if I can find all the parts. It's just been something that's been requested a lot, so I'll probably end up doing that. So you can convert machines that aren't set up for coins back to coins. Certain manufacturers, of course, but it's definitely possible. And I think the problem is, like Brantley said, is the parts, but also you have to fill the hopper. I mean, putting 10,000 quarters in a hopper is not cheap. You know, it's not cheap. The bank
would not like it.
Right now you can't get a roll of quarters anywhere. So it's there's just a lot of challenges with it, but I love it. I love the coins. I think it's an old nostalgic. And by the way, I mean, if you didn't see, Gamble with Glow posted videos on his, shameless plug, I guess. He's my friend, so I got to plug his stuff. But he was at Circus where they added a bunch of new coin machines there, and he has a lot of videos on it, and even had a nice pay in a $5 one. So I'm glad that the casinos are still realizing that people are still looking for that. And so, they're still around in the casinos. I know there's a few downtown. And Brantley, we're going to have to go check out downtown to see if that second floor to the D, rumored to be having a pinball and top dollar in coins. We should go check it out.
And this is a great time. And this is a great time too for everybody that's just now joining us, because I know we covered this at the beginning of the show. But for everybody that's just now joining us, let me go back to the website, tap on events right here. Mark, myself, and Stacy and Greg of Stacy's High Limit Slots, we are all going to be in Las Vegas this month, August 27th through the 30th. The 27th, the night of the 27th on Saturday at 8 p.m., we will be in the Aria High Limit Room. I have not added that information on here yet, but I will. So if you forget, you can come back to the website. I'm going to update it right after this stream. But yes, 8 p.m., Saturday, August 27th, in the Aria High Limit Room. You can stop by and you can meet all of us. So that's kind of fun. And we will be there for the entire weekend for Mark's birthday bash. So it's Mark's birthday weekend. So happy birthday, Mark. We're going to have a great time. We're going to do some live streams. We're going to do some really cool videos. There's even been talk of maybe a competition between me and Mark and Stacy, or a group poll or something on maybe.
You guys are too crazy. That. I'm out.
I know. Well, maybe we're going to, there's been talks of us doing that, doing $200 bets on pinball.
Oh, so I'm out. You guys have fun.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah,
I hope to see you guys.
I hope
to see you guys there. Definitely stop by and say hi. We'd love to meet you. And, should be a lot of fun.
For sure. Bonus time slots actually had a good comment. I just saw it on here. Bonus time slots says, remember, more multipliers or progressives equal higher volatility. So yes, that is true. The higher the volatile machines are going to have a lot of multipliers, high multipliers, bonuses, all that. So thank you, Bonus Time. I appreciate that. Sherry has a question about what are some of the must hit by machines. Mostly these are common with Ainsworth games. So games like Thunder Cash, the Enforcer, which, guys, all right, I gotta stop really quick and tell you about this crazy story. So
I got a text from him at 1 a.m. So I'm just prefacing it with that.
Oh my God. Okay. So first off, if you guys live in Wyoming, or if you live around Wyoming, if you go to the Shoshone Rose Casino or the Wind River Casino, I do go there frequently. I have learned my lesson now about always recording, but there are sometimes, so on this night in particular, I was bored. I drove out to Shoshone Rose and I was playing some games, and I actually was not recording. And lo and behold, the one time that I don't record, I hit the must hit by progressive for it ended up being over $10,000 because I had over $1,000 in the machine, plus the progressive was over, it's like 9,200, something like that, or 9,400. I can't remember the exact number.
Crazy.
And that was on the Enforcer. I posted that as a short clip because as soon as that happened, I pulled my camera out and recorded it. But I apologize. I was not recording then. But yes, also really quick, that night that I was out at Shoshone Rose, there was 4 people there that were playing at that bank of machines that I actually got to meet. There was a couple from Texas and then another local couple who watched the channel, and they came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're Cowboy Slots." And I got to meet with them, and we actually ended up all like hanging out, and we played at this bank forever. So shout out to you guys out there. If I know that couple in Texas, I can't remember y'all's names, but I know that they subscribed to the channel, and then the couple that was there locally, they had already been watching the channel. So shout out to you guys. It was a lot of fun playing with you that night, and we were there until like 1 a.m. playing those games and having a good time. And yes, I did hit the major must hit by progressive for almost $10,000. But as for what are common, it's mostly going to be the Ainsworth games like those. So you can always look for them. There are a couple, but there are a couple more. But you can always check and look at the machine and see if it says must hit by, then it's a must hit by progressive. Let's see here. Question from Rick James. Did the $50 coin machines take actual $50 or coins like Gamble the Globe had? I can't remember.
Not sure. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I just can't. The thing with the coin. The thing with the coins is that it doesn't really matter what coin it is in the end. It's whatever coin that you put into the comparator is what it's going to be used. And so they can have their own custom coins. They can have, regular quarters. They can have $50. They can have full dollars. I mean, they can have anything as long as that coin is what's in the comparator, because that's how it tells whether it's match or not. So
I mean, I could technically put this poker chip in the comparator and it would read it.
It probably wouldn't fit, but it would,
it wouldn't fit.
But yeah, it's whatever. It has no concept of denomination or anything. It's just comparing a coin to the one that was put into the slot. So,
yep. Let's see. Question for Billy, and also this was another. This is a similar question. It might actually, Billy. I don't know if you asked this question twice, but I saw it earlier and I wanted to get to it. So thank you for asking it again or re-asking. I think they are phasing out the double diamond slots out of the casinos that are because they are relatively old and they're looking for newer technology. There was another question back here very similar to this, asking about, here we go, from David. It was a question from David. Are casinos phasing out low volatile machines in favor of progressive ones? So I'll kind of hit on both of these questions at the same time because they are relatively similar. The unfortunate answer to this is yes. I'm going to come out with a video probably later this week comparing the two and exactly why and some of the deeper technological differences on why the casinos are moving towards these newer style machines or, progressive machines or anything like that, about why they're doing that. But the unfortunate thing is, yes, they are. Now, they will not do it entirely. And this is something that if you guys go to the casino a lot, I want you to notice. A lot of these casinos, they might have no older style machines on the floor, but then when you go into the high limit room,
right,
they have the older style machines. And the reason being is because the casinos do understand that those older machines, those low volatile machines, the more experienced players, the higher limit players, they know what they like, they know what to look for, and they know to go for those older games. So a lot of these casinos will retain older games just for that reason. It's really common if you look in Wendover, Nevada. If you go to a couple of the casinos out there, you might notice where I think it's the Peppermill in Wendover. They have a lot of new machines on the floor, but you go into the high limit area and it's all old school slots. So that's one of the things that you can notice. But yes, unfortunately, the casinos are phasing out those older machines, mostly due to parts, but also for some other reasons that we'll cover in those other episodes.
And I think it's just a shame because, I mean, you used to, I know the Monte Carlo, at least it's what it used to be. Now it's the Park MGM, but they used to have a double top dollar and 25-cent dollar denomination, but those are mostly all gone. I think they have a couple dollars still left, but they just shuffled them off to the high limit room again. And it's just a shame because people that want to play the low amounts and still play their fun games, it's just becoming harder and harder. Although I think in Gamble the Globe, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the scout and all this stuff, but if you go downtown, you should be able to find a lot of those older style machines in lower denominations so you can still play them. I think that's kind of where they get shuffled off to. But yeah, in general, I think, most people that have low budgets, end up getting attracted to those higher volatile video style machines. And that's just the trend that we're at right now. And so that's why the casino floor is just filled with them. So unfortunately, us that like the old style stuff, you either have to buy it yourself or you have to try to hunt down a low denomination to play. And it's becoming very hard to do that. It's a lot harder now than it used to be.
Exactly. It really is. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Question from Jones Dillon 874. Greetings, Cowboy Slots and Mark. I got to ask, should you leave a slot after a big bonus payout? So really, for me, it all depends. I still play slots for the entertainment. If I'm on pinball, I could hit, a $2,000 pinball jackpot, and because I love the game, I might sit there and still keep playing it. But if it's a game that, like, if I get something really big, typically for me, if I end up hitting something like $5,000 or plus, I'll take it either in a form of a check or I will walk away. One of those things. I always do backup spends, just because you never know. I have several times in my life, I have hit jackpots back to back. I have hit bonuses back to back. So it's always possible. Not probable, but it's always possible for you to hit that. So I always do a couple backup spins. But really, for me, it just depends. Sometimes I have a set budget. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want to keep playing. Sometimes I don't. It really just depends. It depends on the game. I know with Top Dollar is always a really fun one, Mark. You always want to keep trying to get that 1,000.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Billy says, did y'all happen to notice the flooding that happened in Vegas? Sad. Yes, I did. It's crazy. I used to live in a desert climate, and flooding is very, very common. Just because since obviously the ground is not as porous to absorb all the water.
Well, this is actually in the casino. In
the casino, yeah.
It was in the casino. They had the machines were off because there was an inch of water on the floor.
It's crazy,
and it's been happening for weeks at different facilities. I'm starting to think that there's something else going on out there.
Yeah,
it's so random and weird.
Hey, yeah. Hopefully that water ends up in Lake Mead, and
it needs it. It needs it.
It really.
We don't need any more dead bodies being uncovered out there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Question from Jason. Off subject, but I won almost 10 grand on Chumbo and was wondering if I will actually get paid. So it's actually right on subject, because that's what this primarily live stream is all about today, is online casinos. Did you verify your account with them first? That's what I would ask. Like I said, I tried Chumba. I won a little bit. I did not get paid. I didn't get paid from it.
What I would recommend at this point, since you've already kind of won, is number one, stop playing. Number two, start the cash out process and do exactly what they say. I mean, they probably have specific rules about uploading your ID, all this kind of stuff. Just make sure that you do everything exactly like they say, and do not put any more money in, and don't play anything until you get paid. That's what I would do at this point, because if you keep playing or something happens where I don't know. I just don't, at this point it's too late, because you got the winnings, you want to get paid. I would just go through the process like Brantley said. They may start throwing things at you saying, well, we can't validate it because your name doesn't match or whatever. Just stay right on topic. Keep providing them the proof that you need. Get paid, and then get the hell off of there.
Yeah. Which he did follow up, and he said he's been verified and he was paid one time $400. So if you were paid,
you should be fine.
You should be. You should be fine. So best of luck to you, and congratulations on your win. That's awesome. Like I said, people do win on that, but not. It's just kind of unfortunate, because there's a lot of people out there that they can take advantage.
It's just, I mean, imagine taking a cash out ticket to the casino cage and they're saying, I don't know, can you give us your ID? We need to look to see if you were actually playing that machine. So we're going to have to go and look at the security cameras and see. I mean, they're looking for a reason. It's like insurance payouts. I mean, they're looking for a reason not to pay you. So I'm not sure that's globally the case, but I would imagine the higher amounts that you're trying to cash out, the harder they're going to try to find some reason not to do it. And again, that's the nature of these businesses. I mean, they can get away with it because it's not regulated. So
right.
At least not in the US, it's not regulated. So anyway,
we have a technical question from Jonathan. Mark, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Jonathan Kent says, can the reel motors be serviced? I have a 50-cent triple cash S2000, very noisy reels. They can. I usually just buy new reels because it's hard to service them. If they're starting to get loud, first make sure that your reel strips are in there the best that they possibly can be, because some of the noise that you hear is the actual rattling of the strips going back and forth. So that could be it. But if it's the motors, there's really not a whole lot you can do. I would just buy new reels. That's what I've always done. You can never have too many of those sitting around anyway. Now, there's two types of noise also. There is the noise that comes from the reels itself, and there's a noise that comes from the left speaker. If you get the noise in the left speaker, it's like a humming noise whenever the reels are spinning. That's actually a problem with the 501 boards. It's a style of motherboard. And so if you have a 501 or a 502 board, and you can look on the actual board itself, that problem will not go away until you get a 503 or a 504 board. There's tricks that you can do, like put a volume pot on the actual wiring. I'm not going to get into all that because it's getting a little too nerdy.
Maybe a good topic for Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe we talk about that. But yeah, just make sure, figure out if it's actual reels or if it's the humming from the speaker, because they're two different things. But I would just look for new reels. Spinink.com has plenty of them. I think the last I looked, they had 50 or so in stock. So, just order a new set, and they should be good to go. If I ever find somebody that can service those or know how to repair them, I'll let you know. But I've never had to do it.
Which, as a reminder too, guys, if you really want to get into the technical side of slot machines, we do every single Wednesday on Mark's channel, Home Slots. Make sure that you subscribe to his channel, Home Slots, because every single Wednesday we do a deeper dive technical stream Wednesday night. It's our late night show, so that's really cool. So be sure to subscribe to Home Slots as well for that. Let's see. We have a comment here from Club Mike. Awesome comment. Just want to point it out, and even Gamble the Globe is here, and he said it's a good point, Mike, and it really is a good point. Good point. One important thing to mention is if you gamble online, is to read the terms and conditions, especially if you accept a deposit bonus. Yes, guys, I know it's a lot. I know it's boring, but when you're dealing with your money, please do read those terms and conditions, especially if it's a website that you're unfamiliar with. It's always better to just be knowledgeable and to understand and to read those terms and conditions. Just to let you guys know, we are at 51 minutes. We do run our live streams for 1 hour, so we will be wrapping it up. So final questions, or also if I might have missed your question, if you might have asked the question at the very beginning of the episode and you want to repost it, you can repost it. We'll get to some of those last minute questions as well. And we do have a $4.99 super chat from Jay Boris. Thank you very much for that super sticker. Super stickers and super chats really do help the channel out tremendously, and we do really appreciate that here at the channel. So thank you very much. There was an airport question here about the Vegas airport. I want to grab, let's see. We also do have Alan is in the chats as well. Alan is a member of our channel, so thank you very much for being a member. Just as a reminder, some of the member perks that you guys get is you do have the option as members to submit your questions in advance and ask those prior to every Sunday show, and we do cover member questions at the very beginning. So that is a new member benefit that I brought by popular demand from you guys. Let's see. Let me find that airport question about slots at the Vegas airport. Mark, if you see it, let me know. Oh, here we go. It's from Heidi. I'll be heading to San Diego with a layover in Vegas airport for about an hour or so. What do you think about playing in the Las Vegas airport? So the airport slots, I really don't know too much about, to be perfectly honest. However, I will say this just from observation. The airport does have a lot of Wheel of Fortune games, which, as we have already covered, Wheel of Fortune is an awful game to play. However, most of the Wheel of Fortune jackpots that have ever gone have gone at the Vegas airport. Majority of them have gone at the Vegas airport. I really don't have any thoughts, pros or cons about the Vegas airport. Really, I just know most of their games are relatively the same. They don't have a lot of good games that I would play. So that's kind of my little caveat to that. Super chat from David. Thank you very much for those, guys. We really do appreciate it. Great chat. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. Let's see. Here's one from Clint. Airport slots payback are lower at 87% on the quarters. I could see that. I really, really could see that at the Vegas airport.
I don't know if that's entirely true anymore, though, because they used to be on the return to player statistics. The airport used to be a line item on there, but I don't believe it is anymore. So you don't know for sure. We can assume that it's the same as it was back in the day, but you don't know for sure.
Right.
But yeah, my recommendation is kind of the same as Brantley. If you want to kill time, go for it, but it's not a place that you would want to do any kind of serious gambling. I mean, There's no comps, there's no free drinks, there's very limited selection of games. it should just be something to pass the time, while you're there and
Exactly.
hope for the best. But it's just not the best place to gamble if you have a choice.
Let's see. We got a $5 super chat from Jonathan Kent. $5. Thanks for the advice. You are very welcome. And once again, thank you for that. All those super chats really do help the channel out, and we really do appreciate that greatly. So thank you very much. Let's see. Question here from Catherine. Don't online casinos have to use U.S. regulated platform to run their games on? If they fly out, why are they still operating here? So technically, no. A lot of them don't have to, and that's where the danger comes into play. Guys, just plain and simple, I would stay clear from online casinos. The legitimate casinos like MGM and Caesars, they do follow regulations, as well as FanDuel. FanDuel, MGM, and Caesars, those are safe. Just to let you guys know, those are safe. Those are regulated. Those are well taken care of. Anything else?
If you email them and ask them where is your server located, and they say Malaysia, no, that's not good. You want the server to reside in the United States so that you know that it's regulated.
Exactly. So just be careful, guys. Do your research. It's your money. Commando 602 comment last week at Desert Diamond Casino in Glendale, Arizona. My wife and I were playing the same slot machine, and the manager said we were only allowed to play one at a time, and person's player cards. So, guys, every casino has their own rules when it comes to how many machines you can play, if you can play with the spouse's player's card, and all of that. Those are internal policies within the casino. So those aren't written in the law books or the regulations. Those are just the casino's internal policies. So just make sure that you are following those as well. Let's see. Remember, Susan wants to kiss Bruce Springsteen, and Susan is a member, so welcome. I won a few times on Wheel of Fortune at the airport. Yes, you can definitely win at the airport. Like I said too, there's a lot of Wheel of Fortune jackpot winners have come out from the Las Vegas airport, which is really kind of weird, but that's where they come from. Let's see. Tammy is our moderator. Thank you very much, Tammy, for being here. We really appreciate you each and every day and each and every live stream for always showing up and keeping everybody in line there. She said, thanks to each and every one of you for making it happen. 40,000 subscribers and continuing. Guys, our subscriber count is growing really quick every single day. We are actually now in the top largest slot education channels, which is awesome. And we are doing that giveaway. Again, guys, remember, we're doing the giveaway. The information is scrolling there at the bottom of the screen. If you want to know how to enter the giveaway, it's very easy. On the website, ropethejackpot.com, you can just tap on giveaway, and then it breaks it down. It shows you the prizes right here, what's included in the prize pack, and then how to enter. It's as easy as step 1, 2, 3. Share the video at the link, comment on the video that you shared it, and good luck. We will be drawing the winner live from Las Vegas on the 28th. During our stay here. So again, you can go to events and see that, and I will update it with time and day here right after this live stream. So yes, guys, thank you very much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, JC says 50,000 very soon, best slot channel on YouTube. Thank you for your insight. I want to provide you guys with the best information. I want to provide you guys with free information. We are the only channel on here that we actually verify and cross-check ourselves. So when we come out with new videos, when I come out and do new videos now, I actually send that to a team of people that currently work in the casino and that have experience in that particular field. And they actually will watch the video first, and then they'll come back to me and they'll say, you should, instead, make sure to put this in there or elaborate on this or anything like that, because we want to make sure that it's easy for you guys to understand and also very accurate. So we're the only channel that does that. We really stress accuracy here. And I think that that's really attributing to our growth, and we really do appreciate it. And we are growing every single day. Guys, with our channel growth, obviously, because it is just me and we have Mark here, the co-host. So obviously I don't have a staff of people, so a lot of times it can be very overwhelming, and I get caught up in a lot.
Yeah.
But there are ways that you guys can help the channel out. Obviously, everything on the channel is always free. We don't charge for tips, methods, classes, anything like that. But the best way to help the channel out is we do sell poker chips. These poker chips are available for sale. They're $5.99 with the exception of the limited chip. The limited chip is almost sold out. There's only about 25 remaining of those limited chips. They will not be made again. I'm doing a limited chip for each year. So this is the first ever limited chip. Once they're gone, they're gone. And then obviously there's different ways you can support the channel. There's clothing, hats, bags, swag, all of that here. So definitely check out this page and scroll through. You can also now, this is something new that I added on here. If you're ever interested to know what kind of equipment that we'd use here, or if you have another slot channel, and you want to know what is a good tripod to take with you to the casino, this is on here. What kind of camera that I use for filming, the lights that I use, all of that. So if you're interested to know what kind of stuff that we use here at the channel, all of that is at the bottom of the shop page, and it's really, really cool. So I put that information on there just because I've gotten asked about it a few times. Let's see here.
Go back. There's one good question we could probably finish on.
Yeah, what's that?
1252 from Billy.
1252 from Billy. Let me get that pulled up here. Gotta find it. 1252 from Billy. This will be our last question, and then we'll round out this live stream. What is the most common misconception you've noticed when people go into the casino? The most common misconception is people, for some reason, and I do not know why this is, and I cannot stress this enough, and Mark cannot stress this enough. We have had experts come on here and stress this. Guys, the casino is not out to screw you. They're not out to screw you. And not only that, but no, the casino cannot remotely alter, manipulate the machines, whatever. If you go in there and you're playing with your player's card, I hear misconceptions all the time of people saying, oh, they're watching me or they know where I'm playing. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. The casinos have thousands of visitors that come through that door every single day. They have bigger fish to fry than worry about what you're playing on your player's card. They don't care. They don't. They have bigger fish to fry. They have bigger fish to worry about. The common misconception that the casino is, watching just you play and they're going to turn your machine off or make it hot or make it cold or watch your player's card. That's not, they don't do that. They don't need to do that. They can't do that. And honestly, they have a lot of bigger problems to worry about than, someone playing a slot machine.
Yep.
So yes, that's the biggest misconception. Mark, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I think the other thing that I would say is that there is no possible way that you can spot a winning machine. There are no strategies, guides, anything that could tell you where in a casino is a machine that will pay you. There's no way to know that. It's either going to pay you or it's not. You can do strategies like, picking volatile machines or less volatile machines, but there's no way to spot where a casino has put a winning machine. The machines are set to a certain percentage, and it takes a long time for that percentage to come to fruition. And there's nothing you can do to manipulate that or look for patterns or anything. That's probably the number one misconception that gets repeated constantly. And it kind of falls into what Brantley was saying. The casino doesn't need to screw with your payback or hot and cold, no dial or scheduled times in which it turns it up and turns it down. They don't need to do any of that stuff. They buy a machine, they're going to get 10% of all the money into that machine. That's good enough for them. Multiply that by the 5,000 machines or 2,000 machines they have in there. It's just easy money for them. It's easy money for them. Exactly. So, yeah, just go in and have fun. Look for those lower volatile machines, like we always talk about, to better your chances at getting some smaller wins. And never know, maybe you'll get a big one too. But don't go in there thinking you need to do some kind of like investigation or, go in with a book and say, look over here on the left and look on the right, and then go straight, and that's the winning machine. That just doesn't happen. That's not how things work. So go in there and have fun and try not to get caught up in all that stuff, because it's not going to do you any good. It really isn't. So that's my final statement on that.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the Cowboy Slot Channel, Sunday Slot Talk with the Tech. We will be back next Sunday. Don't forget, we are going to be in Las Vegas the 27th through the 30th. Also, guys, enter the giveaway. The giveaway is going on right now. Share that video, comment, shared. All of that information is available at ropethejackpot.com. There's some great prizes, and we're going to be pulling that winner live in Las Vegas on the 28th during our live stream. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. Well over 40,000 subscribers now, well on our way to 50. It's all thanks to you guys. Thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it. As always, stay safe. Best of luck, and we will see you next
One more thing.
Yes.
Sorry, I was going to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I'm starting my giveaway contest in 45 minutes on my channel if you guys want to watch live. Now, it's too late to enter the contest, but there were probably about 47 of you that entered, and we're going to be playing this top dollar live. And so if you want to tune in and watch, we'll do it for about an hour, so about 45 minutes. Jump on my channel, and we'll watch some top dollar live. So hope you guys can join.
Head on over to Home Slots. You guys make sure to subscribe to Home Slots. That's Mark's channel. And again, every Wednesday we do a technical live stream on there as well, which is really fun and really cool. And again, if you want to meet us, we will be in Vegas the 27th through the 30th, and we will be there at Aria. I'm getting ready to update the website with the exact times, but we will be there. So, guys, thank you so much once again.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, bye, guys. Have a wonderful day. And as always, best of luck. Stay safe, and we'll see you again next episode.